I want to talk to you about cargo van, no PG business loans, and we want to share with you a very generous lenders who will extend you loans with no personal guarantee. So here's a list I want you to pay attention to. So the first lender is National Funding, and when it comes to cargo van, no PG business loans, we love National Funding. They've been in the industry for many years now, and what we love is that the maximum amount here is $150,000, $150,000. So that's really good. I mean, to buy a cargo van, you don't really need that much money, but 150,000, that's the maximum. Fantastic. And National Funding actually gives you a pretty flexible term length. I mean, repayment window. So you have a 2 to 5 years, so 24 to 60 months. And so that's really good. And there are some cases, some states where they ask for a credit score. So they want you to have a minimum credit score that goes from 550 to 600. So that's really good. And they want you to be in business for at least 6 months. So National Funding is not going to accept you if you're a startup. Like if you're a brand new, fresh out of the oven startup, you're not going to have you're not going to be very popular with National Funding. So 6 months, that's actually the threshold. And in some cases, they might actually ask you to have a minimum annual revenue of $125,000 to $250,000. Okay, but they're really flexible because when it comes to a cargo van, no PG business loans, National Funding understands that the van that you are buying, that van will constitute the collateral. So something were to happen, they will repo the van. So they're not really sort of strict when it comes to a FICO score. So that's an important element. So National Funding is number one. Number two, you have commercial fleet financing. So if you're thinking about cargo van, no PG business loans, you want to think about commercial fleet financing. And we love the fact that commercial fleet financing is really flexible. Can you imagine? The maximum loan amount they give you is $1 million. You heard me right, $1 million, 7 digits, okay? And the repayment window, 36 to 60 months, and that's really cool. And in terms of the credit score that they might require, it goes from 550 to 640, okay? Now, the higher the better anyway. But commercial fleet financing is really sort of flexible in terms of operational history. Even if you're a startup, they may actually work with you if you have a solid business plan. Next, I want you to think about when you think about cargo van, no PG business loans, I want you to think about Taycor Financial. And Taycor Financial actually is also a very generous player, and the maximum loan amount they give you is $2 million, and term length here 12 years. So that's really good. And the starting interest rate actually goes from 5% to 28%. And in terms of credit score, they are willing to go all the way to 500. So 500 to 550 as a minimum credit score. So that's something we love a lot. And what we love also about Taycor Financial is that they're very flexible. So they will accept you if you have a annual revenue as low as $4,000. So I mean, 48,000. So that's $4,000 every single month. Okay. But I want you to focus on the maximum loan amount. Can you imagine $2 million? That's really fantastic. Really fantastic. So if you're looking for a cargo van, no PG business loan, $2 million, that's the Taycor Financial. Now, of course, you're not going to spend $2 million on a cargo van. You probably could buy an entire fleet, right? 20 cargo vans or 30 cargo vans with that amount. So that's really fantastic. And you also have First Citizens Bank. So this is a regular bank. I mean, the first three letters were online lenders, and this is a bank. So now when it comes to cargo van, no PG business loan, First Citizens want you to actually, they'll give you maximum of $500,000, and the repayment terms 6 to 72 months. But they want you to be a customer with them. So you got to really establish a relationship with First Citizens Bank before actually benefiting from this loan. So you got to be a customer for 3 months, man, 3 months at least. And this is kind of cool. And the thing is that First Citizens Bank actually used to, their equipment finance department used to be called CIT Business Capital. So they actually rebranded. So what I'm trying to say is that you also have experience. Okay, you have experienced folks there. And what we love about First Citizens Bank is that they have an online application process that takes only 3 minutes. Can you imagine that? Only 3 minutes. And with funds hitting your bank account as quickly as 1 business day after approval. So 24 hours after approval, you get your cash in your account. So that's really fantastic. You can't get faster than that. And so First Citizens offers also short-term business loans, long-term business loans, business credit cards, lines of credit, and vendor financing. So that's really fantastic. When it comes to cargo van, no PG business loans, I want you to think about the Funding Circle. This is another lender we love a lot, and Funding Circle is also very generous. Can you imagine? They will consider you for $500,000 when it comes to this loan. Fantastic. And the repayment term is very, very flexible. Also, you are looking at 6 to 84 months. So that's 6 months to 7 years. That's really fantastic also. And the starting interest rate is kind of decent. You're looking at 15.22%. And minimum credit score here, 560 to 660. I mean, the delta depends on your geography and your experience. And the only thing is that Funding Circle wants you to be in business for at least 2 years. I mean, that's why it's a little complicated, because if you're a startup, you're not going to qualify for this loan. And but yeah, it is what it is. But also, they might actually consider you also for other programs, because Funding Circle actually runs all kinds of programs, all kinds of loan programs, not just cargo van, no PG business loan. So if for any reason you do not get approved for the cargo van, no PG business loan that they have, they can actually consider you for other loan programs. So one thing for sure, you can borrow up to $500,000 with Funding Circle, and you can use the cash for almost everything. I mean, everything. You can use it for cargo van purchase, or you can use it for other operational needs in your cargo van business. I mean, you probably want to expand, you want to have offices, you want to hire folks. I mean, you can use the cash as working capital also. I mean, so that's what we love about Funding Circle. They're very flexible when it comes to the cargo van, no PG business loan they gave you. Of course, you have to actually have a solid business plan when reaching out to them. And but once you are approved, you are free to use the cash the way you see it fit. Okay, it's all about making sure that you have the proper funding. But what we love also is that Funding Circle will assign a dedicated account manager to your company, so that the account manager will help guide you through the loan process from start to finish, ensuring that you are on the right track all along. So that's really cool. That's really fantastic. I want to also talk to you about Bank of America. So when we think about cargo van, no PG business loan, I want you to think about Bank of America. And I mean, Bank of America is a behemoth when it comes to banking in this country. And what we love about Bank of America is that they are very, 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 very generous. Okay, they don't have a maximum loan amount, but they have a minimum loan amount, which is $25,000, which really fits when it comes to the prices we have seen in on the market when it comes to a cargo van. And so basically, Bank of America wants you to be a customer of theirs for at least 3 months before you actually can qualify for this loan. But I mean, listen, it is still good. But the term length here is up to 60 months, so you're looking at 5 years maximum. But this is really good. It gives you flexibility in terms of cash inflows and cash outflows. It gives you flexibility in terms of operational efficiency. So you can actually buy the cargo van, or you can just take the cash and use it for office expansion, for staff recruitment, or what have you. Okay, and the starting interest rate is 7%. This is really good because I mean, Bank of America really is a big player. So in addition to cargo van and no PG business loans, of course, you can get business credit cards, business loans, business lines of credit through Bank of America. And minimum credit score with Bank of America is 500. 500 to get a cargo van and no PG business loan. Okay, but Bank of America wants you to be in business for at least 2 years before actually qualifying for this, and they want you to be a customer of theirs. I said this a little earlier. They want you to be a customer of theirs for 3 months before. Okay, and in terms of annual revenue, they want you to have 50,000. That's the minimum. They want you to they want you to, like, for the last 2 years, they want you to really show that you have actually worked hard and that you are able to generate some kind of revenue. So that's really good. So overall, when you think about Bank of America, think about an opportunity to actually build a preferred relationship with a banking behemoth. Okay, you can also, by the way, I want to insist on that, you can also take advantage of extra perks with Bank of America. Bank of America's preferred rewards for business programs. So that's really good in terms of availability, and that's really good in terms of scalability. I mean, you have a banking behemoth behind you when it comes to your cargo van business loan. It's fantastic. Next, I want to share with you Fora Financial. So if you're thinking about cargo van, no PG business loans, I want you to think about Fora Financial. And Fora Financial is really good because they will take a credit score that goes all the way to 470, from 470 to 570. And the maximum loan amount here they will give you is $1.5 million. So you have $1.5 million. That's really good in terms of scalability, okay? And the term length, though, when it comes to Fora Financial, is a little short. So they'll give you a 1.5 million, but you have to pay this real fast. So we're talking about 4 to 18 months, okay? And Fora Financial really specializes more. I mean, they'll give you a cargo van, no PG business loan, but where they're really specialized is in factoring. So they have factor rates that go from 1.10, in other words, 10% to 1.40. That's 40%. And the minimum time in business here is actually 6 months, so that's really cool. But Fora wants you to have minimum annual revenue of $180,000. $180,000. So this is something to really think about because it really makes you have limited funding option. And next you have On Deck. When you think about On Deck, this is something we love a lot. On Deck actually is great for smaller loan amounts. And in terms of cargo van, no PG business loans, you have loan amounts that go from $5,000 all the way to $250,000, so $250,000. But the starting interest rate with On Deck is really high. So you are looking at 27%. That's crazy. But hey, listen, it is what it is. But it is very high though. But yeah. And the term length here is up to 24 months, so not really high as well. But the APR is really high. And minimum credit score goes from 525 to 625, but no PG. And On Deck wants you to have an operational history of 1 year minimum. So you got to be in business for 1 year before you apply for this loan. But overall, you do have a low borrowing cap though, okay? And but the cool thing is On Deck is transparent about its eligibility requirements. So it's easy to know if you will qualify right off the bat. So you're not wasting their time and you're not wasting yours as well. I want to share with you when we talk about cargo van, no PG business loans, I want to talk about the U.S. Bank. And U.S. Bank is another biggie when it comes to banking in this country. And one thing we love about U.S. Bank is that they will give you a maximum of $1 million to finance your cargo van, no PG business loan. Okay, they will fund that. But U.S. Bank wants you to be a customer of theirs for at least one month before you can qualify for this cargo van no PG business loan. So you can see that all the three banks I spoke to you about, Bank of America, First Citizens Bank, and U.S. Bank, they all want you to be customers of theirs. They want you to be doing some banking relationship, to have some banking business with them before they will consider you for your application. In terms of minimum credit score with U.S. Bank, they're very flexible. They'll go all the way to 300, not a problem. Because see, the thing is, again, going back to what I said earlier, the vehicle you're about to buy actually constitutes the collateral they are going to use to actually fund the loan. Okay, and so that's really important. And U.S. Bank actually will consider you if you have 1 year operational history, or if you have none. If you're a startup, you have a strong business plan. If you have a strong business plan, they will consider you, not a problem. Okay, so it's something to really think about. And in terms of operational effectiveness, you got to ask yourself why you're getting this loan in the first place. So U.S. Bank may not be the most transparent lender when it comes to disclosing its loan terms, but for those who qualify, it offers some unique perks that make it worth considering. Let me give you an example. Borrowers have the option to choose the payment schedule. Also, U.S. Bank allows to finance up to 125% of your cargo van, your sprinter van, your pickup truck, your equipment cost in order to cover added fees like taxes and installation. Still, you should be aware that your equipment, and in this case, a cargo van, will be used as collateral for the loan. This means that if you are unable to keep up with your payments, the lender has the right to repossess any equipment that you purchased with the loan fund. So just be aware of that. So it's something to really think about. So if you're looking for a cargo van, no PG business loan from U.S. Bank, be careful in terms of cash flow management. So I've shared with you a few cargo van, no PG business loans in today's conversation. So here is a strategy I want you to keep in mind. So when we talk about cargo van financing, you have to really understand that there is a distinction that you need to have between cargo van financing and cargo van leasing, right? You can rent equipment with no or low upfront cost with equipment leasing, such as cargo van leasing, while leasing seems cheaper than cargo van loan since you don't need to provide a down payment. You'll likely pay more in the long run, that's for sure. Okay, so when we talk about cargo van financing, so the payment terms, the loan cover the cost of the equipment, the vehicle, in exchange for periodic repayments over a specific term. You own the equipment. For leasing, you do not own the equipment, and down payment is typically required for financing. For leasing, not typically required. The cost actually this when we talk about cost, cargo van purchase costs less in the long term, and equipment leasing costs more in the long term. So this is something to think about. And in terms of depreciation, it is tax deductible for cargo van financing, but for cargo van leasing, it's not typically tax deductible. Okay, so in terms of getting equipment financing, in other words, cargo van financing, some lenders will ask you for annual revenue, personal credit score, time in business, especially if you want no PG. Okay, they might ask for the cargo van quote, cargo van purchase quote, recent bank statements, business plan, personal and business tax returns, personal credit scores, and driver's license. So this is an important element to think about. And now, how do you compare? Cargo van no PG business loans? Where you got to look at the interest rates, the repayment terms, the funding time. That's an important element to think about, and also additional fees, but also the loan purpose. So here's our overview. When you think about cargo van no PG business loan, think about the pros and cons, and think also about how you are going to use the vehicle to generate more revenue so that you can repay the loan real fast, right? Because at the end of the day, when you get a loan for a cargo van business, you're not really leasing, right? Leasing means you're renting the equipment. With equipment financing, such as cargo van financing, you are borrowing money to buy the cargo van outright instead. And now there are some equipment loans for startups. Some equipment lenders only require 6 months in business to qualify for equipment financing, such as a cargo van financing, and some don't have any time in business requirements. This allows startup to finance any necessary equipment within the first year of business. So that's really good. As long as you have a solid business plan, you should be taken care of. So here are our closing arguments. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I spoke to you about cargo van, no PG, business loans. I give you the list, the strategy, the overview, and now the closing arguments. In terms of the list, you have national funding, commercial fleet financing, Taylor Financial, First Citizens Bank, Funding Circle, Bank of America, Fora Financial, On Deck, and US Bank. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.